What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of your favorite podcast, the Route Durant Podcast, episode 31. Fellas, when I wear the hoodie, you know it's about to be a goodie. We got some good stuff going on this episode, NFL recaps, MLB playoffs, 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube.
Oh
Pause.
man,
Hey, yo, it's going to be a crazy one.
yo man,
But
take
how y'all
that, take
doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
that.
Doing good, bro. Happy hump day.
Happy hump day.
I think it goes with the theme.
That's funny. Oh man.
Oh, man. Before we get into the craziness,
Mhm.
NFL is doing NFL things. Week 2, we thought we had some easy picks. Psych.
Yeah,
Apparently, I don't know shit about football.
Same
yeah.
here, bro.
That's what I know about football. You never know. Any given Sunday, anything can
Man.
happen, basically.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the game too, but also it makes you look bad when you start making predictions, man.
Yeah, yeah. Eventually we'll have our records up here and you'll see how we're doing. But let's start off, I guess, with the Buffalo Miami game. Which I called Buffalo winning against
Of course, you
Miami.
want to start there.
It's in the order of the games that they happened also. Unfortunately though, it was a sad game to watch. Tua eventually got injured trying to make something happen. So I don't feel good about that. And he's supposedly gonna be out for about 4 weeks because he's on the IR protocol for concussions.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate for them. Hopefully they can figure it out, and he can figure out what he's gonna do too. I don't know. Do we want to deep dive about Tua now, or should we do our predictions first?
I mean,
Or
what are your
recap?
quick thoughts on the two Roberto? I mean, me personally, I feel it was definitely a sad scene for me to watch. I don't know. This is like what, the fourth incident that he has like this, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Too much for me to even count. And you just always think about the human being when that happens, like you want the best for that. I saw a lot of people online like, oh, he should retire, whatever. But I think Mike McDaniel said it best. Like, first things first, let the man recover. Then we'll discuss his future, when he's in a better shape to even discuss what's best for him and his life going forward, because head trauma is very serious stuff, and we've seen how serious it can be. It got exposed on movies like Concussion and stuff like that, the CTE. AB has his CTE-SPN. He jokes around a lot, but I think he's a little serious about it also as well. So my prayers and thoughts are with Tua. I wish him the best. I hope he recovers soon, and hope to see him in the field again, because he's a great player to me. Like, he has a lot of potential, but again, his safety should come first, and he will know what's best for him. So
Yeah, it's definitely a scary thing. I mean, I've done a lot of research on concussions just through schooling, believe it or not, a lot of papers and all that stuff. So I've seen or like read about like the effects of concussions, like you mentioned, Cesar, the CTE, things that can't be really diagnosed until the player or until the person is like passed away, unfortunately.
mm,
Um, so it's scary when you see Tua not just getting a concussion, but his body like convulsing and doing the actions it's doing as he's
mm,
being concussed. And I think that's really like the scariest part for me, seeing that live on the field multiple times with him. Um, and these are just the concussions that we know about because we see it.
right.
Who knows how many concussions he's actually had throughout his career playing football in general, especially where he's so susceptible to them now.
Right.
It's definitely a scary thing. I agree. I think we should kind of hold off on the retirement talk and all this other stuff
Yeah.
until he's recovered, because that does take a toll on the human body.
Yeah.
The trauma, the brain trauma, and all that stuff with the concussion. So I think give him the time to recover, whether it's the 4 weeks, whether it's longer than that, whatever the case may be. And then, ultimately he makes the decision. But I think I hope that he has people around him as well, kind of guiding him in the right direction and not just making not making an emotional decision and just saying, I'm going to retire because I'm scared. But, if he is going to choose to step away from the game to protect his body, protect his self, protect his mind, and ultimately his future, let it be a sound decision that he's not going to regret.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely scary. I hope the best for him, whether it's continuing to play or not. My personal thoughts, if I'm him, I would hang him up. But I'm not Tua. I didn't work my whole life to get to this point. I know that the guaranteed money is a big thing, especially in the NFL. And that's a conversation that he would have to have with his agent and the team and all that stuff. Because I think there is a clause where if you retire, I don't know if it's for a medical reason or something, you get to keep the guaranteed money and it gets issued to you as like a medical contract or something like that. So maybe that's part of the conversation as well. But definitely hope for the best for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I don't really have much to add on. My prayers and positive energy to Tua. Hope you have a swift recovery. Hope to see you on the field again. And it's obviously up to you. You know your body best. It's your body, your choice, your decision, your life. No one can tell you what to do, really. And I really wouldn't know what to do in that situation. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really comment. So moving on, I guess.
As
Tampa.
far as the actual game though, shout out to the Bills. They, at least in the first two games, they look kind of different. Like they have like a different style to them. I feel like they're relying on the run a lot more, and Josh Allen is not throwing as much. And they're also relying a lot on. They always had a good defense, but I feel like now they seem like, I don't know if they're more healthier now or anything, but like that defense has been really putting in. Like they looked really impressive to me on Thursday. I think they're relying more. I think they're like a more smash mouth team this year. They're not trying to force feed the ball to Stephon Diggs, and their weapons. I feel I don't know. That's just one of the first things that popped out to me in the first two games watching them. So we'll see. We'll see how that translates. But my bad, Hasia, you could go on. You could move on.
No, you're good. Roberto, what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of surprising. I guess what Cesar's saying is right. I think the Bills are playing a different style of football this year. It's more like smash mouth, ground and pound, kind of like old style, old school physical football. And maybe it is because the personnel is different on the offensive side. So they do have to rely differently on the way they score points and move the ball. I would have liked to see more from Miami. I picked Miami to win in a blowout. So I'm 0 for 2 on picking blowouts this season so far.
You had it right, but reverse.
Yeah.
They reversed Uno, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, man, I don't know.
Cool,
maybe I got to stop picking blowouts.
Yeah.
The good news, you still have like 16 more weeks.
Yeah. I got to get one.
Yeah.
We'll see what I pick for this week.
That's funny. What do you think about the Tampa Bay and Detroit game that we had picked?
Oof. Yo, I know that they lost the Lions. We all picked the Lions to win.
Yeah.
But I know Hasiel mentioned that he was in the fence of picking the Bucks. Well, firstly, shout out to Baker. Baker Mayfield has been arguably the MVP in the first two games. He looked like Lamar Jackson on one of these rushing touchdowns. Like how shifty he became. But Baker is balling, man. And Chris Godwin, putting him in the slot this year, gold. Like I don't know why they even decided to even change his position as a wideout. This dude is one of the best slot corners in the league. Like this dude, just keep Chris Godwin if you want him to play godly in God mode, leave him in the slot, please. He
Yeah.
caught the first 7 passes in the game. He was just unapologetically just targeting him. It was insane to watch. They had no answers for him. So yeah, the Bucks are balling, but on the other side of things, Aiden Hutchinson, yeah, like what, 5 sacks?
I'll tell you right now.
The defensive tackle for defensive end for the
Yeah,
line.
yeah, he got
Yeah.
4.5.
4.5.
That dude
He's a
is box
stud,
office.
bro.
He's
He
box
was
office.
eating. He was eating.
Yeah, he was a one-man wrecking crew out there, but I still have faith in Detroit this year. I just probably should have put a little bit more respect on Tampa Bay's name this year. They're balling.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I agree, man. I think I underestimated Tampa. And Baker Mayfield didn't have like this crazy 300-yard pass game or anything like that, but he did just enough to get them to win. I think that Tampa team is gonna go pretty far, man. They're a legit team, and I think Baker has found his stride after last year, and that has continued this year. And I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Detroit will be there. They just got to find their groove. They'll get there.
Yeah, it's still week 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Detroit was pretty good. Those 2 interceptions though pretty much costing the game. What was the other game we picked? Cincinnati, Kansas City. Did we all pick? No, we didn't all pick. We all picked the Chiefs one.
We all picked the Chiefs, but I did not expect the Bengals to put up the fight that they did. They responded very well. They had a nice little bounce back. They have nothing to hang their heads over. I think they played a hell of a game. They forced Pat Mahomes into mistakes. I think he had, 3 turnovers? Something like that. So, yeah, the Bengals gave the Chiefs all they can handle, but the Chiefs just managed to find a way at the end, And that's why we always choose them, because they always find a way. But Isaiah Pacheco, it might be a big loss for the Chiefs. I've noticed that they also, similar to the Bills, they've been relying on the run a little bit more this year as well. Because of Pacheco's great play. So it will be interesting to see how that offense looks going forward until Pacheco comes back. If we might see a more pass-heavy team or not. So, what are your thoughts?
I think it was a pretty good bounce back game, even though they lost for Cincinnati, because they did not look good that previous week. Against the Patriots, who are not, they're okay, but they're not really going to make playoffs probably this year. But it was a pretty good way to bounce back, giving the best team in the league a run for their money, essentially, and making Pat Mahomes look somewhat human. So, I expect them to come out strong week 3 as well. I'm not sure who they're playing. I got to double check on that. But, I think overall good game for the Bengals, despite them losing. But again, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. It's one of those things. I said it last week. It's like picking against the Yankees in the 90s and picking against the Patriots dynasty.
Yeah.
You're going to lose money picking against them.
Yeah.
Most times than not, for sure.
Yeah.
They just find a way. And to answer your question, Roberto, the Bengals are playing Washington in Cincinnati Monday night. So that should be a nice little bounce back for them.
Yeah.
They need T. Higgins to get healthy, though.
They do.
I think that offense looks totally different without him. Jamar Chase looks miserable. I have him in fantasy, and I'm very nervous.
They kind of lost the game because of him with his penalties.
The penalty, right?
Yeah.
He just does not look happy at all. So.
And he didn't get the bag, right? He didn't get his contract.
Nope, and it looks like he's not even open to a negotiation.
He might be out of there. Let's go.
The vibes are not good.
Yeah. Then, I had Kansas City winning. Cincinnati did make it a pretty close game. Tough loss on Pacheco. And I guess we'll see what they do next week. They'll probably win against Washington. And then the last game we had was Philadelphia and Atlanta. And I had Philly winning, and they got smacked at the end of the game. Another 1 point game loss. Jalen Hurts, I don't know what's going on. Looking like, I don't know, a little rough out there, I guess. Reading the defenses a bit. Throwing a lot of interceptions early on, putting them in tough position. And I still think they're gonna turn it around though. Atlanta's looking pretty good though. Like they look like they might be solid this year.
I had them winning the NFC South before the season started. So
Yeah.
And it's because of that defense. They have a really, really good, well-rounded defense. And this dude, Bijan Robinson, is a stud, man. Bijan Robinson, the running back.
Yeah.
Stud. Kirk Cousins looked a lot better, more mobile this game. So that was a bright spot. But yeah, man. The Eagles, though. So in the first game, I didn't want to read too much into it because they were playing in Brazil. You know that grass was crazy out there. All those like everybody was falling. I think that I counted like about a good 12 slips or like in the first half watching that game. So I didn't want to read too much into those big plays that they were giving up. But yeah, it was. I think if there's something up with that defense, they can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop the run at all. I mean, I know Bijan is a stud and all. They got dominant in the line of scrimmage, and they also couldn't stop. When it counted most, when Kirk Cousins had to go for a drive and just do a hurry up. So
yeah,
they have a lot of question marks on that defense. So if their offense is not scoring, it's going to be tough for them to rack up some wins. Oh, and they need A.J. Brown back, too, because Hurts forced the ball a little bit too much.
Yeah, for the Eagles, that defensive front is definitely struggling. I mean, one of their big signings was former Jet, Bryce Huff, and he's non-existent, which is crazy because, I mean, he wasn't an every down player for the Jets, where maybe that's why he was so effective last season. But seeing him struggle out there and just like getting manhandled by a tight end, like that's crazy. Because he's supposed to be one of those hard pass rushers, but he's non-existent.
Yeah, and they were always known for like a good front seven, I believe, the Eagles. And it's not the case now. Like last year, 2 years ago, they kind of like, they added Darius Slay to the secondary. So like they were more like a well-rounded secondary. They got Garner Johnson too. But now, I don't know. Seems like they have to go to the drawing board when it comes to that defense. They have to figure it out, and they have to figure it out fast because they have a tough task next week. But the Falcons are good. I think they're gonna be good this year. That whole NFC South is gonna be pretty tight.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna come down to the wire.
Besides the Panthers. Well, we'll see because now they're switching quarterbacks. That's another thing.
Andy Dalton. We'll see. They're already saying that they might trade Bryce Young. We'll see. Or people are gonna start asking for him.
I'll tell you what. He's a dude that if he goes to a team that has a veteran quarterback where he doesn't have to start, can sit for a couple years.
Yeah.
Maybe he could reclaim like that aura back.
I think so.
And maybe he could be a decent QB in the league. I mean, maybe it's like a Baker situation. You go somewhere else, change the scenery. All of a sudden, now you start. I mean, it's just a thought.
Into the Patriots.
I agree, and also like Sam Darnold, also, but you see what he's doing with the Vikings this year too.
And it's no coincidence that Baker, Sam Darnold both struggled with Carolina. They left. Found some success. Yep. Maybe he's a guy who gets traded to like a Kansas City for a couple years, learns under Mahomes, goes somewhere else.
Maybe Carolina are the Black Cats.
Oh man, good stuff. All right, so y'all want to touch on week 3? On our week 3 predictions?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, so I think we picked the Chargers, and the Steelers as our game. I think I got the Steelers winning. They're at home. It'll probably be a tough game. I think Fields. It depends if Fields cannot turn the ball over. If he doesn't turn the ball over, they should be able to win this game. But it'll probably be close. Probably be like 10-13 or something like that.
I think he's the real deal. Like he's found something different after leaving Chicago.
I think he's got a better coach.
That's what I was thinking.
Way better coach.
I could not have. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, I just think he just got a better coach, better situation.
I like Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I thought the Jets should have picked him as opposed to Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
he's definitely talented. I don't know what his QB IQ is, but with proper coaching, that can be improved upon, and he can be a pretty good quarterback. He could be a winnable quarterback, a quarterback that can win games. So I like his chances, and I'm kind of low-key happy that Wilson's not starting right now, because we get to see, like, he can win games. Like, he's not completely ass. So I got the Steelers, yeah.
And I think having a guy like Russell Wilson and his team as well in his ear, kind of like picking his brain up, because people forget Russell Wilson was a great scrambling quarterback at one point.
Yes.
This dude was special.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, he was
magician.
Him.
Yeah.
Before
Mahomes.
Yes. So he's been there. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. Put some respect on Russell Wilson's name. That kind of experience, you can't teach it. So I think he has he's in the right system for sure. It'll be interesting to see what decision they make when Russell Wilson comes back. But as far as the game goes, my prediction, I'm gonna agree with Hasiel. I think it's gonna be very low scoring. Got it like maybe 16-13, something like that. That's because both of these defenses have been balling. TJ Watt has been ridiculous. The Chargers have their own two-headed monster with Boza, and is Khalil Mack still there?
The Chargers, yeah.
He doesn't age, so yeah. I think it's gonna be very low scoring, but I have the Pittsburgh Chris Boswell Steelers. Chris Boswell have like 6 field.
Yeah. My man might be running for MVP.
That's funny.
Nah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers as well. I think again, I agree with you guys. I think it's low scoring. Like I think max would be like 17-10, and that's like on the high end of the scoring. But I think it'll be a defensive game, field goal game, special teams type of game. But I got the Steelers winning this
one.
Yeah. Sounds good. So we all got the Steelers. Let's see. We got Eagles versus Saints. Oh man, this is gonna be tough.
That's a tough.
Saints are coming off a game.
Yeah, Saints are home too.
This is tough.
Damn, I think I'm gonna go Saints because they're home. Really, they've been looking good. Eagles defense has been questionable. Clearly, they lost against the Falcons in the last 2 minutes of the game, and the Saints have probably the highest powered offense, or the most efficient scoring powered offense in the last 2 games. So I'm gonna go with the Saints for now. Their defense isn't bad either. I mean, it's been pretty good the last few years. So yeah, I got the Saints. Derek Carr's looking like he has something to prove. Calvin McCall, the running back, I'm his name right now.
Calvin Kamara.
Yeah, him. He's looking like a beast again. Like he's back to his old self. Last year was kind of like a down year for him. So yeah, with them two, clicking, I could see Philly having a long day, unless Saquon goes crazy on the Saints defense. But I don't really see that happening. Like he'll have a good game. They might score, but I think the Saints win it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints as well. And I'm gonna agree with Hasiel. It's Derek Carr. So I saw this thing today, which is kind of funny. In election years, Derek Carr has like his best seasons ever.
What?
Yeah,
That's
like
interesting.
whatever I don't know what the thing is. Just when there's an election, Derek Carr's balling out, so he might be the new Patrick Mahomes this year
Hmm.
because it's an election year. So I'm gonna go with the Saints to win this one, and they're gonna go 3-0.
Interesting. You see, so I was gonna pick the Eagles just so I could go against you.
Mhm.
But now that you gave me that fun fact about Derek Carr, because these fun facts be working. I
They
don't know if y'all
do.
knew this, but the Vikings and the 49ers, like
Mhm.
the 49ers haven't beat the Vikings in at Minnesota since 1992.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. And none
Hey.
of us would have ever even chosen them to lose that game, the 49ers. So
Mhm.
I hate doing this because I want to like to go against the grain, but I'm gonna go with the Saints. The Saints will win too.
Okay. So y'all got the Saints. Oh man, this is looking. We're gonna come back and all be wrong. Oh man. All right. So the next game we picked was the Texans versus Vikings. Speaking of the Vikings,
Hold up, before we jump into that, I got Carr's numbers during election years.
okay.
2016, he had 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, sacked a career low 12 times. 2020, he had 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, with a career high passer rating.
Wow.
So he's doing things in election years. So every 4 years, you're gonna get the best version of Derek Carr.
Man, I wish we would have won some game with the Raiders. All
Yeah,
those years we had them.
especially with Devontae.
And the Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year.
Mm.
That'd be
I'm
interesting.
just saying. You never know.
Saints 3-0.
Who gonna beat them Saints? What next game we said?
Houston and Minnesota.
I'm gonna pick the Houston Texans. I like what I'm seeing from the Texans. I'm gonna rock with the Texans. I low key when the Texans were first created and they were available on Madden, I created a franchise with them to play with Andre Johnson. So I always had love for the Houston Texans. So I got them beating Minnesota. I don't care.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree there too. I think Houston has one of the best defenses in the league and one of the best offenses in the league. So I don't see how they would. I honestly, they're a pretty well-oiled machine right now. I don't know who's gonna beat them, but I don't think it's gonna be Minnesota. I love what I'm seeing was from Sam Darnold. Que bajarle una, yeah. You know, they need some humble pie at some point. So I'm a pick Houston.
Yeah, I was gonna go Minnesota, but I think I'm gonna go Houston in a blowout.
Oh
Oh,
no.
book it.
Oh
Damn,
no.
now Minnesota's gonna win.
Oh no. You got us.
35-10.
Oh
Wow.
man. Nah, hope not. All right, and then our last game
I hope
is
so.
is Ravens at Dallas. All right.
Ooh.
I'm going Ravens, baby. They need a win. They're 0-2. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. What are my reasons?
Yo, the Cowboys need a bounce back game, and I don't think this is it. I'm gonna go Ravens as well because the Ravens need to bounce back in the worst way as well. They cannot start 0-3.
They'll
They
be
cannot.
done.
They just cannot. Not in the NFL. Once you start 0-3, I mean, they still have a chance. They could run the table after that. They're perfectly capable of doing so. But yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens. I don't think the Cowboys, after that loss, they're gonna lose again.
I hate that we're agreeing on every game because there's no way I'm gonna pick the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know what? I'm gonna switch the Philly game. I'm gonna pick Philly.
All right.
But Baltimore against there's no way I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm sorry. I just don't like.
Gotcha.
I like Dak, but I don't like the Cowboys.
All right, so we got our picks for next week. Let's see what happens, everyone.
This is gonna be bad.
We in trouble.
Yeah. All right. So What is the MLB playoffs looking like?
Like a beautiful mess in the best way possible, man. So the divisions, for the most part, they're pretty set.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about the divisions. I think when you look at the East, the Yankees have a pretty okay lead over Baltimore. I could see them just kind of. I think their magic number to clinch a playoff berth is 1, by the way. So if they win tonight against Seattle, they're
Oh,
officially in the
yes.
playoffs. Magic number to win the division is 8, but
Wow.
I think they're in pretty good prime position. I think they're getting healthy. The Yankees are. They got that. In the Central, Cleveland is a special freaking team. They got that division, and then out west, Houston is. That's my fault. That's on me
Yeah,
because
man.
I counted them out very early in the season. My bad. I
How you
jumped the
do
gun.
that?
I should have never done that. I should know better, but I did it anyway. Oh man. But Houston, they're back.
Mm,
But
Yeah.
the wild cards are what's crazy. Essentially, I think after the Mariners, like it's the Red Sox and Rays and stuff like that. But I don't think those teams are anywhere close to competing, especially with only like a week and a half left in the season.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I look at Detroit as a team who has really come out of nowhere. They're on this hot streak. They're
Mm-hmm.
beating teams, and all of a sudden now they're in the race to make the wild card, which is insane to me, considering that not many people can name anyone on Detroit
I
after
can.
their ace starting pitcher. So it's crazy that they are where they are. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of sports and the game itself. They're currently about to sweep Kansas City if they can win out tonight.
Mm.
And they're putting a ton of pressure on everyone
Mm-hmm.
because they're winning games. Kansas City is losing games. The Twins are quietly just sitting there in that third wild card spot. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think
They're
Detroit has
cat.
the best schedule. They face the Orioles, which are also struggling. They got the Rays, which are kind of just there, and then the White Sox, which are the worst team possibly in MLB history to finish off the season.
Easy.
You know
Easy
what it
win.
is with those teams like that have nothing to lose. I don't like, and a shout out to Wiz on this. I hate playing those teams
Yes,
because
absolutely.
they are playing with house money. There is no pressure on them. All the veterans are probably already like, thank you for your participation. They bring in the young guns who have something to prove, and then they just start ruining parties.
Yeah, because the thing
Yeah.
with Detroit is, I mean, they know they're not going to win the World Series.
Mm,
So to
Yeah,
your point, is like, let's go ruin some people's lives.
mm.
Let's go knock KC out. Let's go knock Minnesota out. Let's make the playoffs instead of them. Yeah, we'll lose in the first round, but guess what? We knocked them out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy when you look at a team like Detroit coming out of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
making noise right at the end of the season.
Yeah, and they make the playoffs. Like, more power to you.
Yeah.
Like, so
And then that's the type of team that will come out next year and lose 90 games. Type of thing, which is crazy.
yeah. What about the National League?
I'm kind of sad that Lulu's not here to hear this.
Mm.
Big Mets fan. He's been asking me for like the past 2 weeks, yo, you think the Mets got a shot? You think the Mets got a shot? Lulu, the Mets got a shot, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They got a shot. I think they'll make the playoffs. Atlanta is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of the reason. They actually face off against each other in the second, I think is the second to last series of the season,
So,
which I think is going to determine who makes the playoffs at that point.
They always facing each other at the end.
Yeah, and I love it.
yeah, makes for intense baseball.
Yeah, so
Meaningful games.
You think the Mets turn it around? Like they
yeah, I think the Mets make it this year. I think they're going to be
Okay.
the team that puts the nail in the coffin for Atlanta as well.
Oh wow.
Lulu. They're going to sweep the Braves.
Poetic justice.
Put that out there. They're going to sweep the Braves and send them home.
Wow.
Good
Okay.
shit.
I hope you're right, man.
Me too, because I would like to see the Mets in the playoffs.
Yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
They're an exciting team. Francisco Lindor is an absolute beast.
Has an amazing year.
Amazing year. And we keep
Yeah.
shouting him out because he deserves it.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what the Dodgers do with Ohtani too, about to hit the 50-50.
Yeah, I think he has 49 steals as of like an hour or two ago, as of today or something like that.
Nice.
So
Wow.
I think he's going to get that 50-50.
Seeing Ohtani in the playoffs is gonna hit different.
Mhm.
Yeah. Although I'm gonna tell you, I'm not too confident
Literally.
about the Dodgers. I know
No, because the Padres are looking
they
scary.
they are very scary. Them and Cleveland are the two teams that I think are the scariest going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Padres got some young energy. They're just a great team overall. And I feel like they've done it pretty quietly because so much noise has gone to the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see the Padres and only 3.5 out of the West Division, I don't think they get the division because the Dodgers schedule is pretty favorable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Padres are a team that I don't want to face.
The Diamondbacks are in the mix somehow too again.
Yeah,
Right.
they're in there. Another quiet team. They're the second wild card right now,
Mm-hmm.
which they're only half game up on the Mets, by the way. So the Mets
Mm-hmm.
could jump up to that second wild card spot, which makes a difference, in
Yeah.
the later rounds and stuff like that.
I always fear Arizona in the playoffs.
They're
For
scary
some
good.
reason. They're always great underdogs when they make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're scary good. On the topic of the Braves, I do want to shout out Chris Sale, who has
Yeah.
been injured for like the past 5 years, having a great bounce back year and should win the NL Cy Young this year.
Mhm.
So shout out to him for bouncing back and doing his thing with Atlanta.
But shout out to him. I had him in fantasy a few years back.
Yeah, the dude is. I felt bad. I know he was on the Red Sox, so like I didn't miss him per se. But when you see a great player go down and just be injured for many years, it kind of sucks. So I'm
Mhm.
happy that he
Yeah.
was able to bounce back and find his groove again.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when he was really good.
Yeah, he's a beast, man.
Mhm.
So MLB is looking fun, man. I'm excited for the playoffs. I'm excited for what's to come. I still favor the Yankees. I think in the AL, not like unbiased.
Mhm.
Although I think in baseball in general, there's not really one team that can stand out right now and say I'm the best team in baseball.
It seems that way, yeah.
It's so balanced right now. It's crazy.
I
Like
like
no,
that.
I don't think anyone's gonna get to 100 wins. It's gonna be like 90-ish, mid 90 wins for everyone. Like it's been a great baseball season,
Mhm.
very underrated season, and I'm very excited for what's coming.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about a little bit NBA, WNBA with Caitlin Clark and her records as a rookie?
Yeah, rookie of the year.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, she has a single season assist record and for everybody, it's including rookies and vets, surpassing 317. And she also has a rookie scoring record, passing 744. So she's been doing her thing. Shout out to her putting, I guess, women's basketball on her back or being the face of it, either if she wants to or doesn't want to. I appreciate her game.
Yeah, and she started off, there was a lot of chatter at the beginning of the season. Is she
Mhm.
ready? Da, 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 da. She's struggling. Her team is starting like 0-8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they've really bounced back. She's really upped her game. I think it was just an adjustment period. There was a lot of media attention,
Mhm.
especially coming off the run she came off in college. And the game is faster once you make it to the pros. We see that at every single level, at every single sport.
Yeah.
Once you make the pros, there's an adjustment period, unless you're like a freak of nature
Yeah.
and an
And
absolute beast at the sport. But she's proven that she is her,
yeah.
and she's doing her thing, and she's put the WNBA on her back and that team on her back.
Basically, they clinched a playoff berth also, which I'm excited. I know New York Liberty team is
The
number
number
one
one
seed,
seed.
so I'm hoping to see
I
if
hope they
they
win.
match up in the playoffs, so I can get some tickets, take my daughter, watch the game.
It's gonna be
So
dope.
that's what I'm hoping for. And then I think the other player,
Asia Wilson.
yes,
Shout out to her. She's the
She's
MVP in my book.
she's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
She's the best player in the league right now,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And she's looking great. Like she's wilding. She broke the record for most rebounds in a
Yes.
single season. So she surpassed Angel Reese.
Yep.
I hope Angel Reese was speedy recovery. But yeah, Asia Wilson, she looked really impressive in the Olympics. I don't think we did we touch base on her from the Olympics that much? I'm not sure, but shout out to her, man. The playoffs should be the WNBA playoffs should be very exciting.
Yeah, she also is the first WNBA player to surpass 1,000 points, which is very impressive considering the talent that has been through the WNBA in their history. So that's crazy.
Yeah, these playoffs should be very, very interesting. She has the 4 seed, which means they'll probably see the Liberty in the second round if they both advance. So that'll be it. Yeah, the Aces, the Las Vegas Aces.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
And these playoffs are gonna be lit. What other quick hits we had? I mean, I'll just touch base on it real quick. But Canelo retained his titles this weekend. But Berlanga, he lasted the 12 rounds. He showed me how that he's very durable. He could definitely hang. He's gonna be a problem for most people. I would love to see him fight Caleb Plant next, who also won that night. That'll be a heck of a fight, and they've been chirping at each other for a minute. So shout out to Edgar Berlanga, but Canelo is still Canelo. He looked pretty dominant, and he did show that there was levels, you know. And Erislandy Lara, the 57-year-old Cuban, he still retained again. And it was a pretty lackluster fight, but that's just, if you've seen a Lara fight, that's how it is. He's very Cuban style, and he's unapologetic about it. It's a very, very difficult style to deal with, and Danny couldn't solve that puzzle. But it was a great night of fighting in general. Yeah, that's all I got for boxing for now. Boxing news. Well, speaking of fights, I know there's another dude. This is probably the main event that people have been waiting for.
Oh man.
Man, that man's in trouble.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. We're
He's
talking about
done.
Diddy, the
Oh,
diddler.
Diddy.
Again in the news for all the wrong reasons.
Yep. In case y'all didn't know,
Yeah.
he got arrested like about 2 nights ago, I would say. Here in New York too, the trial.
Yes.
New York, so
charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation of prostitution, including minors, which all obviously very serious, very damaging, very disgusting. It's crazy.
And RICO too, RICO charges, right? Which means that there's gonna be more people involved.
Yes.
People that have worked for him, clean up those messes,
Right.
bodyguards.
So this rabbit hole can go pretty deep.
Yeah, we're looking at a very big situation here, possibly. He's been denied bail twice as of this moment by 2 different judges. They deem him to be a danger because of his resources and all that stuff.
And violence.
Yeah, and he's going to be detained until his trial. So, interesting stuff. Obviously, we saw, we covered in a previous episode the situation with Cassie, which is obviously a very big deal. But what are your thoughts, man, on where this could go? I know we're going to enter some speculation podcast stuff out here with this.
Disclaimer, yeah.
But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts?
Cat Williams called it at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
2024 is up for everybody.
He did.
Up for all of y'all. And yeah, this year has been wild. The year's been wild. I think it's only the beginning. I feel like if push comes to shove, if he does get convicted and he's probably getting interrogated right now. I'm not sure what his rights are or not, but I don't know. I mean, I think he might snitch, man. He might snitch and call some, bring some people with him. I just don't know how deep this this is gonna get, because
Oh, the
it's
Hollywood.
it's giving me like Jeffrey Epstein vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are concerns about his safety as well, considering like the amount of people he knows and the amount of people that are involved in all this stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, there were 50 witnesses and victims and all that stuff that were interviewed, which kind of led to this documents being released. That's where, like, we kind of joked about it at the beginning, like the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube and all that stuff. Like that's part of documentation that came out from all this with the
Yeah.
FBI and Homeland Security raiding his spot. So, I mean, this is a huge rabbit hole. This is a huge deal, huge thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's gonna get ugly, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for the Hollywood hip hop side of things.
Yeah.
Maybe Hollywood in general.
Yeah.
So
I wonder how the dominoes are gonna fall, basically. Um,
and a lot of people, I don't know, I've noticed not a lot of people have, like, a lot of big time celebrities have commented
I was gonna
about
say,
this too. Like,
I was
that's
gonna
a
say
little
that.
alarming.
Yeah, we haven't really seen anyone speak out, other than obviously like Cat Williams and stuff like that. But like nobody that's really connected to Diddy has come out and said a word,
Yeah,
which makes you wonder. Again, speculation podcast makes you wonder, like,
yeah.
were you at these Diddy freak offs or
Are you scared of death? You searching for an escape? Like, what's going
yeah,
yeah. At this point, once it's a Rico, it's over. Like,
yep.
yes, yeah. I'm also thinking about like how this might uncover some past truths too. Like uncover like some dirty skeletons in the closet concerning maybe Biggie, Tupac, and all of that. Like some of that might come to light in at the end of this too. Like did he really like set up these murders and things of that nature? Because that was always a thing too that people used to say like did he set a lot of that stuff up?
Yeah,
Um,
well, I think the guy that got arrested for the Tupac murder said Diddy paid him off
mhm,
to do it,
on?
but no
So,
one believed him.
yeah.
Maybe the guy was telling the truth. Like, it's crazy because you think back to all this stuff and it's like,
Starts
yo, like there were a
connecting.
lot of rumors back then that we kind of just ignored. Maybe
Mhm.
they weren't rumors.
yeah, and I know Kanye is another dude that has
Oh
gone
yeah.
on record, and he's gone off on, like, every time he has one of his, like, quote unquote episodes or whatnot,
Hmm.
which we don't know, you know, whether he's doing right or wrong mentally, or how's he doing, but he always used to go off on Diddy. Like, he used to be like, F you, you fed.
Yeah.
Just used to, like, he used to call him a fed. I'm like, that was weird. Like, I don't know. It's
50
it's
Cent, another one.
Hmm.
50's been
oh,
saying it for years.
yeah. But 50's petty, so nobody pays attention to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's the thing.
I've grown to notice that 50 being the right on a lot of things
a
sometimes.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Eminem
but
is another one, always taking shots at Diddy,
yeah, that's
especially
true.
of late.
Yeah. Regardless, it's over for him. Like no matter what, it's over for him. Like I don't think he's getting out of this one. Either alive or not. So it's unfortunate. It definitely makes me listening to the music that he made differently a little bit now that I know a lot of the stuff that he might be connected to, and a lot of the music like I'd be wondering like damn, is he like really ratting on himself right now, like when you start to listen to it, some of the shit they'd be saying. So I don't know, it's sad to see because like I grew up enjoying a lot of this entertainment of Bad Boy,
Yeah.
but the way this shit is blown up, I do not enjoy seeing that happen. But I've always had I guess like a gut feeling that a lot of this stuff was happening. Cause when he had like making the band and that Danity Kane stuff, like those shows,
Yeah.
like you could see some of that seeping through. Like you could see it like at top level the way he would treat people, and you
Yeah.
would think it was just for like MTV entertainment, but I think that was just really Diddy
No,
being
I think that
himself.
was pretty real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially after
Yeah.
they come out and said stuff like how they were treated, like they didn't enjoy it, So, you start connecting the dots after you hear enough stories and enough people tell you like, yo, that guy is weird or that guy is that. Like, it might be true. It might be that person, the main denominator there is off a little bit. So,
Makes you look at that Dave Chappelle skit a little bit differently too.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
everything, bro. It's crazy. Like,
Mace is also another one that's gone on
mhm.
record, and he hasn't
Yeah.
defended him at all.
No, he's gotten away from him as much.
Yeah, he retired early because of
Mm-hmm.
he didn't like the way people were moving.
Yeah. Which, if
So,
Mace don't fuck with you, says a lot. So it's unfortunate that it has come to this, I guess, but I'm glad that there's being some justice, I guess, being
yeah,
handed out.
if honestly, if all of these accusations and all these charges are true, then I'm really happy it's happening.
Yeah.
Because those are things that need to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't. That's just it's not cool, and it's very discouraging for up and coming artists when they're thinking about who they want to sign or whatever. Maybe some of these things get exposed, and they can be more self-aware and more
Yeah.
all right, there's another way.
Yeah.
I don't have to sign off on this deal. There's another way I can make it, per se.
And not for nothing, I hope that anybody else that is connected to a lot of this shit goes down too.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Like put these horrible people away.
Definitely.
Clean
So
house.
yeah, I just wanted to point that out there. There's a lot of evil people out there.
All these fans. For real.
Mm.
It's up for all of them, man. It's up
Yeah.
for all of them. That's how I feel.
Before we
Okay.
wrap up and stuff, Shannon Sharp, man. I know we touched on him. I know we touched on him in the last episode. But he came out with his statement. It was not a hack or anything like that. He says it was by accident, the IG live. What do we believe? Is it cap or no cap?
Oh man.
All right, so to give the viewers some context, so Cameron came out on his show and he believed that it's cap because there's so much stuff that you need to do to even get on Instagram Live. Now, when I first saw this, what I first thought was he probably already had the app open, right? At the very least, I would think that he has the app open. Maybe he has his phone. You see how you have your screen time that you kind of it never goes black,
Yeah.
unless you make it go black. I think maybe he has his phone like that as well. And it could have been possible that while he was trading places with the girl, that they could have maybe, I don't know, accidentally went live. But it's still a lot of work to go live. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's not capped because he just doesn't give me that kind of vibe. That he doesn't give me that much of a that cloud chaser vibes. He doesn't give me that.
Yeah. I don't think he needs the clout, especially he's one of the biggest personalities in media, period. Not just in sports media. Because obviously he's doing his thing on First Take and ESPN, but he's also his podcasts are both of them, Nightcap and Club Shay Shay, are both very, very, very successful.
Yeah.
So I don't think he needed to air out what he's doing with Michelle at any point to make it to give himself more views. I mean, his podcasts are doing great, but it is a little funky. I mean, I've never gone live on IG that I can remember.
Neither have I.
So
that was his first time going live, supposedly.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
What a debut,
right? I know sometimes I'll have my phone and it'll end up in an app that I didn't think it was gonna end up. I know butt dialing used to be a thing.
Yeah, still a thing for me.
Yeah, you see, so I don't know. Like the other day, I grabbed my phone out of my pocket, and it was like on the call log out of the
Oh
blue.
my
I was
god,
like,
I be FaceTiming people. I don't want to FaceTime sometimes. It gets bad.
That's
But
fair.
yeah,
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll give him the benefit. Yeah, definitely. I'll give it to him.
Uh,
It's just hilarious though.
would I give him the benefit of the doubt? I don't know. Because they kind of made it a thing afterwards with like the emergency podcast, and then he also has
For the merch.
yeah, he has like a sponsorship for erectile
Oh yeah.
functions, I guess. So I kind of like, is this like, is he leaning into it that it happened, or was this like set
Mhm.
up? So because like I tried it afterwards, like how hard is it to create a live? And it is multiple steps. Um,
What are the steps, Hasiel? Because I haven't gone live yet.
so like, let's do it right now, real quick. You will go to your IG account. And then you press
Okay.
the plus button, and then there's a live. It says create, right? And when you hit the live,
Mhm.
you still have to like actually press the button for it to like record. So it's
Okay.
like at least 3 or 4 steps. So I don't know how he got to that posting part. So I don't
Right.
know. That's
My
like
guy.
yeah.
Trading places.
It's hard for me to like, give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, if like, I don't care if it happened. I'm glad like we didn't see anything. Like it was just like
Yeah.
that's what makes it even more believable that like if we would have seen something, I think it would have been more believable that it wasn't on purpose. The fact that we didn't see anything, it was just sounds. It kind of sounds like it was set up. I don't know.
I'm kind of glad too he wasn't like disciplined by like ESPN or anything like that.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
have sucked to get fired over some shit like that.
Yeah.
I know Paul Pierce was watching that
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah. Oh, Paul Pierce was wild.
Yeah, you could see the women and all that, and
Yeah.
him
Yeah, that was
smoking and all
definitely
that.
Like my
Like,
man was like, yeah, look at
yeah,
this. He was
and
wilding out.
and he's tripped up a lot. Like, it's not
yeah,
just that.
yeah.
Yeah.
He be blatantly tripped for sure.
I think I saw a thing where he called Skip my nigga or something.
He
Was it
did.
Paul
He
Pierce?
did, yeah. He
Yep.
did.
Right on FS1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my man. That's funny, yo. I'm sorry. That made me crack up. So yeah, I don't give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm glad he didn't get disciplined either. And they kind of made like a joke of it, so it's whatever. Shannon's been having such a great year, like
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Hey, Shannon's about to get like MVP of the year type shit.
He
Like,
Yeah.
pretty much. He's been doing since January he blew up.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's kind of kept it going. Like he's had a lot of great interviewers on that show or
He
interviews,
has.
So yeah, um, yeah. Him
What a
just
year.
grunting. I'm just like replaying this shit in my head now.
What a year, man.
Yeah,
What a year indeed, man.
yeah,
Speaking of a year, we're approaching our year.
yeah.
I know Hasiel mentioned it last week that we're getting close to that year. I think it was like September 23rd was our first episode.
Wow.
So happy anniversary to us. We might be able to record on the anniversary. It's next Monday.
Oh
We'll
snap!
Okay.
see.
Okay.
It's pretty dope.
I just have one last. Oh shit! I just have one last thing to mention. I guess like quick hits, or just random stuff for anybody looking for stuff to do. There are a lot of upcoming concerts out there. Different genres. I'm gonna go with Spanish first. So like Mike Towers is coming. In October. Mark Anthony's supposed to be coming. Chayanne, Ivy Queen or Evie Queen is supposed to be coming within October, November,
Damn.
December. And in hip hop.
Mark Anthony normally goes to Connecticut too in December
Mm-hmm.
to Foxwoods.
Nice. I've
Oh,
always wanted to go to like a concert in Connecticut because it's not that far, like 15, maybe an
I
hour
went to a
drive.
Trey Songz concert at Foxwoods.
Hey, yo,
That was a dope
nice.
one.
Oh,
nice.
I used to love Trey songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him in a while.
Yeah. Rod Wave is coming in December. I know a lot of people like Rod Wave. Travis Scott's also coming in October for MetLife. You know, he's gonna get that crowd ramped up. And then Alpha's also coming. So, you know, there's a lot of artists. There's more artists too, like Rhapsody. There's a lot of more underground, more intimate settings or intimate you know, hostings that have a lot of great artists coming to the city. So if people are looking for things to do, you know, concerts are out there, gatherings are out there. So just wanted to throw, yeah, like this last quarter is like getting crazy with the amount of activities to be done in the city. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's dope.
That's dope.
enjoy
By the
while you
way,
can.
those intimate concerts where it's like very chill are pretty dope. I went
Those
to
are
go
like my
see,
favorites.
yeah, I went to go see JP Cooper. I think it
Mm.
was at this time last year. It very small. It was like in a theater here, over here in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Very intimate, not a huge crowd, no seats. Like it was all standing room. But it
Mm-hmm.
was like one of the dopest concerts I've ever been to in my life. And I've been to Usher, Beyonce, all these like big names.
Mm-hmm.
But like this was his first time being in the US. He's from the UK. It was one of the dopest concerts I've been to. So if, you know, if y'all can't afford like the big names, that's completely understandable in this economy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely go see like those smaller artists in these smaller venues because they put on a great show.
Yeah, it'd be memorable.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna go see Kate Renata next month. That should be fun.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I went to Sunny Hall a few years ago to see Young Dolph and Moneybagg and all of those folks, which was it was a great event, and it was unfortunate. Rest in peace, Young Dolph. It was sad when he died, but I remember I went to go see him perform at Sunny Hall, and it was lit. Like can't even talk about it, but yeah, good times.
Nice.
Go out there and live, people. Enjoy it. You know, you never know when another pandemic might shut everything down again, especially with
You never
these
know.
elections.
Just no Diddy parties, man. No Diddy parties.
Yeah,
Yes. Drink responsibly. Have your limits.
Yes.
yeah,
I'm
Take an
speaking to
Uber.
I'm speaking to myself.
yeah. Let's say no to drugs if we don't want them.
Yeah.
If you want them, go ahead and take them, I guess.
And then take the Uber.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Man.
yo.
On that note, fellas, this was a good one, man. I have fun.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Nah, see ya till next time for the anniversary.
Word.
Yeah.
Don't
Make sure
forget
to keep. Oh, go ahead, do your thing, bro.
don't
My
forget
bad.
to like, share, subscribe, comment. Yeah, leave your thoughts, your opinions, your hate, your love, all that good shit.
And let us know whoever has the worst record at the end of the season. Let us know what should we do? Like what should that person do?
Yeah, that'll be
Yes.
dope.
Yes.
Maybe we gotta wear
Give us a
something.
dare. Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of dare.
Yeah.
But just no Diddy.
Yeah. None of that.
Yeah.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Thank you guys.